right here in this building.
That's right, Rob Moore. And also, Texas has a special place, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. This is where he first started in professional wrestling under the tutelage of Jack Atkinson, better known as Fritz Von Erich.
Yes, indeed. And that was following his days as a football star at SMU, which is also the alma mater of Mr. Jack Atkinson, God rest his soul. And look at this. I think Krusher Kong's had enough. Krusher and Mr. Big walking back to the dressing room, risking a count out here.
I don't think at this point it matters because they can obviously tell that referee Rick Manning is very biased during this match, siding with Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
I don't see any bias with Rick Manning.
Look, they're counting along together. Obviously, they're in unison.
Well, Hacksaw is just following Rick Manning's lead. And here comes Krusher Kong back to the ring. I guess he doesn't want to be counted out after all.
Well, there's still some fight left in Krusher Kong. Don't you worry about that, Rob Moore.
Well, I have no doubt about that. Because Krusher Kong, he has taken on some of the very best in the business himself. Formerly in WCW, he's taken on the Horsemen. He's taken on men like Ric Flair, Ron Simmons, Sting, and matched them move for move and just tore a path through WCW.
And while he was in WCW, don't forget that he was tutored and managed by the great Harley Race, 8-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
Oh my, it's Krusher Kong using Hacksaw Duggan's own 2x4 against him, jabbing him in the stomach while Mr. Big had Rick Manning distracted.
All Krusher Kong was offering him, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, a chance. Here, do you want your 2x4? You may need it against me. And it's not my fault that, or Krusher Kong's fault that Hacksaw Jim Duggan didn't take his 2x4 when it was offered to him.
Paul, what are you smoking? Never mind. Krusher Kong with a rear chin lock on Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Krusher Kong, he is just an awesome individual. I mean, I think I'm a big guy, but I cross paths with him in the locker room. Of course, I don't try to talk to him or anything because he'll just growl at me. But
don't kill yourself, Rob Moore. You are a big guy. But that's beside the point. Right now, it looks like Hacksaw Duggan's firing back up with a series of shoulder tackles into the midsection of Krusher Kong. I'm not sure how effective that is. But now he decided to go upstairs with a couple of clubbing arms to the head.
Oh my, just about took the ring down, but Kong gets out of the way and Hacksaw Jim Duggan finds nothing but turnbuckle, and it is the American hero down on the mat. Look out, here comes Kong with a big elbow. Oh my, jumping elbow, that's got to be all. That's got to be it, but Hacksaw just barely kicks out.
Yeah, see, Krusher Kong, he probably was a little overconfident right there, not hooking a leg. But let me tell you, when he drops those elbows, he makes sure he pinpoints it right into the solar plexus.
Oh my.
Big splash.
All right, that's got to be all for Hacksaw, but no, he kicks out. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you may remember this, Paul Lewis, was involved in 1985 in what many wrestling fans consider to be the greatest stipulation match of all time, and I have it on tape if you'd like to see it sometime. No, never mind. But anyway, it was against Ted DiBiase in Houston, Texas. I believe it was at the Sam Houston Coliseum. Inside a steel cage, both men wearing tuxedos, coal miner's glove on a pole, loser leave town. One of the bloodiest matches I've ever seen, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan came out on top.
Wow.
And it's been some years since then, but Hacksaw still has a lot of fight in him, and he's got to fight his way out of this rear chinlock being applied by Krusher Kong. That chinlock could very easily turn into a sleeper hold. But look at Kong, he's got his foot on the ropes for leverage. Referee Rick Manning doesn't see it. Hacksaw trying to get his attention.
Well, obviously Rick Manning can't look if Hacksaw Jim Duggan's grabbing him by their shoulder, preventing him from looking up. Now, whose fault is that?
Well, can't really say. Look at that. Mr. Big at ringside watching his man, his protege, if you will. Krusher Kong continuing the rear chinlock on Hacksaw, but Hacksaw's arm is not going down. Hacksaw reaching out to his fans here at the Cowtown Coliseum, hearing their cheers, hearing their chants as he gets to his feet slowly. Look out. Hacksaw Duggan throwing in an elbow. But Krusher, Hacksaw stopped him, and look at this, Mr. Big back up on the apron. He's got no business being up there.
But now, look, see, I told you, during this match, that 2x4 was going to come into play, and right into the midsection of Krusher Kong.
Rick Manning did not see that. Mr. Big has him distracted. 3-point stance. That big running clothesline. Duggan is on top. 2 and 3, and that's it.
See, Rob Moore, look at that. They even counted in unison. You can't tell me that Rick Manning wasn't biased throughout this match.
I can tell you Rick Manning was not biased because he is not biased. And there's your winner, the All-American himself, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, son of the police chief of Glens Falls, New York. Victorious here in the LWE, and as for Mr. Big, yourself. Here comes the flag. And now we're going to have a salute to Old Glory. There he is, your winner, fans. An amazing man, one of the most courageous men in professional wrestling, and a true living legend. Here we go.
I'm actually shocked that the fans of the Cowtown Coliseum are that fast to learners that they can learn to spell USA that quickly.
Oh, come on, Paul. The fans here in Fort Worth love Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Once again, your winner, Hacksaw Jim Duggan!
Oh, that was definitely a big win for a big legend here in LWE Explosion.
And still more great action to come. And Paul Lewis, I don't know, we could see Jim Duggan again. We could see Krusher Kong again. They could very well be in that main event for the LWE heavyweight title.
Well, word has it that they've almost filled up all those 15 slots slated for the Royal Rumble to determine a new LWE champion at the end of the show tonight. But let me tell you something, I wouldn't be surprised if these two hook up again.
Well, you bet.